Good evening. It happens to all of us that we feel that we've been wronged, and somebody does wrong to us and we want to get back at them. So again, just like everything else, there's episodes as far as what do you do in your Torah. So what's happening is uh, the Jewish people are sinning. Moshe is up in the mountain with God getting the Ten Commandments, and then he up at while he's still up there, God tells him, go back. The people are really aren't doing very well. They're starting to sin, things like that. And even then, Moshe starts pleading on behalf of the Jewish people and tells God, remember the forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and it's only when Moshe goes down and sees them dancing and singing and all different things that he breaks the luchos and then he has to go back up and he also has to ask God for forgiveness. And then while he's up there, God says to me, "Now listen, I'm going to wipe out these people and I'm going to just start fresh with you." And Moshe answers him, listen, if you're going to, if that's going to be the case, listen, then just wipe my name out of the book. Just I don't want to have anything part of it. So the question is where did Moshe get this idea that I don't want anything part of it? Write my name, get rid of it. Take my name out of this book. I don't want to have anything to do with it. So the rabbis give us two answers as far as with this. One is that there's a concept in the Judaism, in the whole world. It's the golden rule, that you should love your neighbor like yourself. That anything that you would want to have done to somebody else, you should do for yourself. So it's the same thing. If the Jewish people weren't eligible for Torah, Moshe himself didn't want to be the eligible for Torah. So he's like more or less, okay, so if it's not good for them, it's not going to be good for me either. In solidarity with them. The other answer is there's what's called the sota. The sota is the wayward wife. It's the woman that was suspected of committing adultery on her husband, and what they did is the husband would suspect her, and then they would go in and at the ceremony where they would test to see whether she was guilty or not, they would write different verses from the Torah, and then what they would do is they would erase them. And in those verses, they had God's name. And normally, it's one of the Ten Commandments. You can't erase God's name, but here God lets his name be erased for shalom, for peace. So Moses saw, oh, listen, God lets his name be erased for peace. Let my name be erased. Take my name out of the book, and hopefully we can make peace for this. So that's where most, so both these ideas, to love your neighbor by yourself, and from the Sota that, that even God lets his name to be erased. So Moshe, Moshe realized that, okay, this is where he gets it. So again, so whenever we want to react to somebody, if they did something wrong and we view it, we should at least realize that we should try and make it appropriate and in some connection to what happened. So otherwise, it's a totally random act. Like, I don't have an example off the top of my head, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Okay, have a good evening. I hope you enjoyed.